We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you some breaking news. There's been reports all over the area of something crazy going on, something big. People's homes, their minds even, are being taken over by something called, what is it they're calling it? They're calling it Bad Movie Debate.
What up, nerds? It's me, Jacob Bad for Bad Movie Debate, here to do a season finale recap, part 2, Severance episode, and we always have our boy Kyle Lane here, but he's actually here in person, in studio.
In the flesh.
In the flesh this time.
In my Audi form.
In his Audi form, yes. Yeah, every episode that we've ever seen with Kyle is his innie. His innie watches all the TV. His Audi doesn't. So we're getting Audi Kyle, who had to watch all 20 episodes now.
Yeah, 20.
This past week before he came down here, because he had no idea what was going on.
Had to catch up, so it's all fresh.
It's all super fresh and everything. So thank you for making the journey down. Yeah. Coincidentally, so you could bring some Journey Together Pokemon cards for Justin too. So
it was a dual trip.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Happy to be here. Love the studio.
Yeah, as Neil said, my huge studio. Yeah, with all the PAs around.
Mm-hmm. Hey, can I get a beer?
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. Can we fly in a beer? Thank you. Perfect. It's not cold enough. Talk.
Thank you.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so how do you want to do this? Do we want to go like each episode at a time, or do we want to go into the most batshit stuff and kind of work our way back, or just reference because I'm open for anything.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the back half of this season was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And I'll die on the hill that episode all about Cobell was not a filler episode.
No.
That shit was crazy and important.
No,
so,
super important.
So we can go anywhere, and I'm ready to go.
Just hit on the main feats, maybe. Try to keep it in order, but hit on the main feats.
So number 1, I'll just jump right into it. Cobell invented Severance.
Right.
It was her brainchild. It was her idea. They took it from her. They implemented it. They made it their thing. And that's fucking nuts.
Yeah. The thing I was confused about was she was a child,
she was like Miss
slave
Wong.
worker.
She was she was like in the ether factory.
So my question is what were they doing before? Because she invented Severance, but obviously she didn't invent it as a little child.
Yeah, exactly. So it seems like she came from a real shitty place, to be completely frank.
Horrible parents.
Worked as a fucking child literally
child labor.
Yeah, child labor in an ether factory, which her and her boy, whip up a little hit real quick when she goes back to visit. Yeah. Which was wild, to be honest.
Yeah, it took me a while to realize what it was, because I'm like, is this some sci-fi drug that they're using? That was very interesting.
That was wild to know that, because it's such a as we said last episode, near future sci-fi kind of a thing, but the technology, obviously, the idea of being severed and the chip and everything and all the different things it can do is insane.
Yeah.
But she literally worked at an ether factory.
Right.
That's why I'm kind of confused. What fucking year is it?
I know. It's
because it's an ether factory and there were children working there.
Right.
That was I don't think people is ether even a thing anymore? Do people even use it for anything? Children sure as fuck don't work anymore. In factories, that's way old.
Super illegal.
Yeah, but I mean they have smartphones and shit, so it's how, I don't know. And she's not that old. She has gray hair, but that's just that's for aesthetic.
Maybe 60s or something.
Maybe at most. A very healthy,
but
60s.
Even that, yeah,
which is crazy because you work in an ether factory,
right, right.
So and apparently they would just huff that shit whenever they felt like.
Yeah.
Wild. But yeah, so she was working there, and then but it seems like she got the same fellowship that Miss Wong is doing,
right?
So she was able to get into it. I mean, obviously Cobell is smart as fuck. She's a very intelligent person. There's no doubt about it. So it's it makes sense. She got into that fellowship, was able to rise above where she came from and everything, but and then she just invented Severance.
Yeah. Well, and
what does that even mean?
It makes sense to the past, when she's freaking out about being fired and everything like that. It kind of feels oh, she just doesn't like losing this power that she has, but it turns out that it's like actually she just got massively screwed over throughout her whole life within Severance, or within Lumen rather.
No, for sure.
So that was interesting to see, and it kind of gave like more of a human side to Cobell.
Yeah, it added a lot of depth to her because
she was just like evil before that.
Yeah, everybody, she was just like sucked. Yeah. And it's like, no, she didn't suck. She was a devout like Kier person.
Right.
Because she invented everything. Like the most important thing that they were using to like change the world, and she's just, I mean, it makes sense why she's like in charge of the severed floor and stuff, because she invented it. So she, even though she probably doesn't like make it or work on it like in the advancements and stuff, but like doesn't she say in an episode like about like the Glasgow protocol, like she came up with all these ideas for like these protocols.
Well, and she knew, we thought before that she knew because she knew the doctor, I can't remember her name, the one that was on the outside reintegrating everyone. She knew that reintegration was possible.
Yeah.
Which at that point you kind of just thought like, oh, because of all these other people or whatever.
Yeah, it's like
but
something
it's actually because she's like, it's possible.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she knows for a fact it's possible.
Which leads me to believe that the higher ups may not even know that she invented it. I mean, I'm sure like...
See, okay, that's what I was thinking, because I've seen a lot of people talk about like Helena being like, oh, don't like overstate your importance or your contributions and stuff. Like, you're not that big of a deal here. And it's like, so do you not know? Because at the time we didn't know. And it was like, wow, it's just a bitchy comment. And now it's like, oh, you may just genuinely not know that like your family here, like the Egans did not do this themselves.
I mean, like the only person who would know based on like age would be the Egan guy, but he would be only what, like 20 years max older than her.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless he's like 150.
I mean, he is not well. And he used that weird phrase at the beginning of this season and stuff. So like he could be, and again he could have all of the other ones in him and stuff because of the chips and stuff. Yeah. I wish we had gotten more Natalie, so we could have gotten more of my whole thing. I'm like, she's the board because they're all in.
She kind of dropped off
like after that her last talk with Milchek. Like she just kind of disappeared.
Right.
Which I thought was kind of weird. But whatever. I'm sure she'll come back in a big way. Because like in the mural, like every person that Mark had ever interacted with
was all in
there and stuff, including the weird Woes Hollow pointing.
Oh, people,
I didn't. Because there was three. Because there was three different Helenas, like Helly's on there. There was Helly R, there was Helena, and then another like a third one. So it's like every single, which is all that's all fucking weird.
Yeah.
Oh, quick digression. So first episode. Yeah. I saw like one or two people kind of talking about this when Mark runs to wellness and it's not there. The fucking weird guy,
the like demon in the background, nothing.
Because what this one person pointed out is it's the same actor who's credited as playing the like weird Mark pointing in Woes Hollow. Like, yeah, he's credited as that guy and that guy.
That is
apparently
so strange.
I didn't confirm.
We never got an answer on it.
No, it literally just never. The only thing that came up is like, okay, that's supposed to be the same guy, but like, why is he just walking around? Well, and, like, what does that fucking mean?
Like, surely it was on purpose. It had to have been on purpose. They wouldn't have just left some...
You don't make mistakes like that in a show like this. No, that's this well written, this well produced. It's fucking Apple, so the production value is insane. People are obsessed with it. They're doing pop-ups
which are
all over the world, which are insane and so good.
Yeah.
Like, they're not gonna be like, oh shit, a fucking PA was in the background and like linger on it and like,
or noticed it and said, don't worry, we'll just keep it in.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll make them ask questions.
Honestly, I could see the like head writer and Ben Stiller just being like, you know what? Let's freak them out. Let's let them all go buck wild.
And I had just seen a video where they were interviewing the actor who plays Rickon.
Yes.
Because one of my favorite new theories. Have you heard about it? That Rickon's a goat. Yes. That's like my favorite thing.
Okay, the only thing that I saw one after the incredible Gemma backstory episode.
Yes.
First of all, apparently that was a directorial debut for that director.
Oh, really?
Like, she's been in the industry, and stuff like it, but this was her first like directing like thing, like gig. absolutely insane.
That was debatably the best episode
It's-
of like the whole series.
It's my favorite episode of the entire series. I think it's one of the best episodes that we've gotten of television in years,
Yeah.
if not the past decade. It's like it's top 10, if not top 5 for the past 10 years. But somebody was after that episode, when they have the flashback where Rick and Devin are over, and she's like, "Oh yeah, like I'm trying to like climb up this stuff," and he's just like prancing
Climbing
up the
up it
side
like a mountain,
like a fucking goat, dude.
They need the salt.
Like people were like going off, like that was one of the things somebody brought up, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay. Like,
Well, so
okay.
in the interview I was watching, he was talking about how after season 1 aired, the directors and everyone were like, all right, we have to be incredibly intentional about what we put into this because so many people are making these crazy theories.
Fucking wild.
Which is funny that they accidentally did something that builds on to the goat theory.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's like, oh, is that an accident?
Yeah. But all that being said, like they definitely intended to have that person in the background.
Oh, absolutely. They absolutely did, because I just saw something an interview with Gemma where she was talking about apparently on the crib that they're like trying to build and stuff, like on the box, like somebody noticed when Mark was like moving it, they literally like freeze framed it, zoomed in really, really hard, and it says Cold Harbor on the box. Like it's like as if it were like, it's like this model is called Cold Harbor, like this model crib from this company. That makes
so much sense.
And it's just like, yeah, it makes so much sense, but it's like, because she was like, it's crazy that people are like pausing and zooming and like trying to make it out,
taking
and stuff.
every frame and
she, like,
zooming in on
and
any
she confirmed though, like more or less, like, yes, that it does say Cold Harbor on that box.
That's crazy.
And it's just like, so with so much intention, that dude had to have been there for some reason.
Yeah.
Still no idea.
No idea.
One thing that we did get some bit of an answer on, which I had seen and we had talked about last time, the goats.
Yes.
So there's some kind of sacrificial thing going on there. Is that all they're for? I was talking to a coworker yesterday about it, and it was like, it seems like that can't be the entire thing. But in season 1, when Helly and Mark come across that guy with the baby goats, and he's like, it's not time, they're not ready, I don't like, and stuff. It's like
and he's like emotional about
he's
don't
like
take them,
really freaking out, and it's like at the time it's like, okay, but like we see like as again, Brienne of Tarth, I don't remember the character's name exactly, but Brienne of Tarth, who we do see Brienne of Tarth in that season finale when she's beating the shit out of Drummond.
Oh yeah.
There is, I saw a TikTok that was very funny. She was like, we all know who this is. She had this like that a still frame behind her. She was like, this woman right here, this Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah.
We all know who this is right
She's
here.
reintegrating.
Yeah, exactly. It was and I was like, yeah, what a badass. Like, which I thought was funny. But it seems like they're literally just for that weird ritual thing.
Well, so it goes into my new theory on the show, which I can save for later, or I can say it now.
Save it.
Okay.
Save it.
We'll save it.
Gotta make sure people listen.
But yeah, I mean, that was like super interesting. And I think Savannah might have been in the room, and she's like, not the goat, please.
Yeah, exactly. I know they put it in the little thing and stuff. And it was so cute when she's like has it in the thing, and like, you know, it's a goat. Like they can only act so well. You know what I mean? Like and it like kind of like jumps up and is like trying to get her attention while he's like, they're like doing this back and forth, this like ritualistic conversation, and it's just like, hey, what's up? Like, come on, Mom. I know, and it was like, oh my god, they're gonna fucking kill this girl, and it's being so extra cute right now. Like, they probably waited. They were like, let it get cute. Like,
They
we're
definitely
gonna do this
picked the
again.
cutest goat they had,
Exactly.
for sure.
It was the most adorable goat. I really just don't. I just feel like it can't just be that. Having a whole department that is so intensely taking care of them, and stuff. A homie is just full blown dressed up like them,
right? I'll say my comments on that, but
okay. There is all that Rick and stuff with him being a goat though, and it is kind of wild because
crazy.
Because like there's goats all over his house and stuff. And,
well, and then when he's reading the book, he's doing that. I can't remember what the word is, but he's enunciating his words like a goat.
Yeah,
or something
he does.
Like that.
Like he talks like
Which
that.
he said in that interview. They were trying to workshop a way to make him sound like his voice was going out, because that was like his whole thing. He was freaking out. His voice was going out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's why that happened.
Right. Yeah. Like his voice is going.
So funny.
Yeah, his voice is going away, but it made him sound like a goat.
Yeah.
And like
he can't break the NDA. He's a goat.
Yeah. Exactly. Dude. Yeah. Exactly. Dude. I saw a clip, that show After Midnight. It had him and Devin, both of their actors were on, and I saw just one clip of it. He was like something where it was like a bit they do on there where it's like say something normal and then there's like an anxiety cam that you say how you really feel, and it was like, I love all of your severance theories and stuff, and he turns to that one, it's like looks different and stuff, and he's like you think you're freaking out, I'm freaking out, I have an idea what's going on. I have no more than all of you, and I still have to figure out what's going on, and I have my own theories, but I'm not allowed to talk about them. Yeah. And like he's like, because then it'll be confirmed, and people will freak out, but I could be wrong. Like
people will zoom in on their facial movements.
Exactly. Like he went on this, like it was very funny, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess like the actors probably don't know like a lot of stuff until they get the script. And like, you know, because I'm positive the way that the show is structured and the storytelling is just so well done that there's no way that Ben Stiller and the head writer, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name, I'm sure they know where it's going and how everything ends and stuff, but they're like, but it's good to like couch that, you know, from like the actors.
Well, it reminds me of like, I remember that viral clip that was like the Game of Thrones cast like reading the script of the finale or whatever. Oh yeah, and it's like they didn't know about it.
Yeah, the table reading. They're reading the cat stuff. Yeah, so. And they're all like, yeah, they're all like, or that one of
shit sucks.
I think it's Viserys when he just gets like wiped out, like that scene where he like throws his glasses down and is just like rubbing his head and stuff, and like everybody's just kind of looking at him like
sorry, buddy.
This is like, yeah, he could die and it would work, but like, this is kind of a really shitty way to do it. Yeah. Like, to be honest, so.
I thought I was going to be the king of the North. But,
oh, God. Okay, so Rickon's a goat, confirmed.
Confirmed.
Speaking of Rickon, real quick, where the fuck has he been?
No idea.
The last 2 or 3 episodes.
Well, the last thing from my recollection was him talking about how he's going to write this book.
Yeah, the last time we see Natalie too. It's them two talking about like that's the last time we see Natalie is when she first is over at their house and being like, oh yeah, like the innies really responded to it. We want you to like pay you a bunch of money to write one that's like even more specific to Lumen and like being an innie and stuff, because it really like opened a lot of their eyes and they're really passionate about it. And he's like, yeah, it's a great idea. And then Natalie's gone, but then we see the last time we see Rickon, which is like the next episode or two, he's like reading a bit of it to Devin, and she's like, it just kind of seems like you're really just saying the opposite of everything else you said. And he's like, well, this is what they want, and like maybe this is a better way of saying one. And like they're like kind of like arguing about it, and she's like kind of not vibing on it, and then he's just gone.
That's it.
And he's just fucking gone, dude.
New theory, he was the goat that they were gonna kill.
Yeah, dude, that's why he was there, dude. That's why he had so much personality.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've also been seeing that Rickon is Drummond's brother.
Rickon is Drummond's brother.
Because they look pretty similar.
They do have some similarities. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
His evil twin.
Yeah, like his evil twin, or like his like less like his like outie, like just to put it in the terms of the show, like Drummond's like, obviously they're two different people, but like he's like the innie version of like these two brothers, because he's the one that's like always there working inside and stuff, and then Rickon goes out into the world and is like seemingly has nothing affiliated with it, but he's actually secretly like implementing these ideas and stuff. Like, I don't know, could be something there. I just want to know where the fuck my man Rickon was.
I know,
I saw a few people talking about that.
Funny.
He's so fucking funny. I saw a few people being like, I don't give a shit about this, I don't give a shit about that. Yeah. Where the fuck is Rickon? Because like that's super fucking weird that he's just gonzo out. You know?
Yeah, I mean they kind of did the same thing with Cobell, but she came back eventually.
She came back, had a whole episode, huge lore drop, like
massive lore.
I don't know. It's insane.
Well, and going back to when she finds the blueprints or whatever that she wrote, the whole time I was watching it, I'm like, this bitch is going to take it and throw it in the fire. Like, quick, get away from the fire. And then, of course, she tries it, and I'm like, I swear, if this goes in the fire, I'm going to lose my mind.
I was screaming at the TV, dude. Like, why would you give this to your fucking crazy aunt who is like all about Kier more than you ever could be?
Right next to just an open flame.
It's just a fucking fireplace and stuff. She was just like, oh yeah, this is really fucking interesting. Oopsies. Like, come on, girl.
Yeah.
Thankfully, she saved it. And I'm curious to see where that goes in season 3, which I did see a big, like, cast interview thing where Ben Stiller confirmed it shouldn't take 3 years for season 3 to come out.
Well.
Thank fucking
It'll take like 2 years and 360 days.
Exactly. But hey, not 3 years. So we'll take it.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. Like, that stuff with Cobell really, like, I don't know. It's not that it, like, it added a lot of depth to her in a way that I didn't think we were going to get.
For sure.
You know, from that character. Which I love. You know, I think it was a good call and I think it works really well. Yeah. But it was just, like, I think after I forget which episode it was. After, maybe it might have been the Gemma episode. I was like, I think I messaged you and Cam in our Waffle Party group message and was like, I'm just going to stop trying to guess anything about this show because I'm just never going to get it right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just never going to get it right.
Which I started to realize as the season went on that I was getting a little bit of what I'd like to call the Game of Thrones effect.
Yeah.
To where, like, I think Game of Thrones, obviously, this is turning into a Game of Thrones episode. Game of Thrones obviously, like, ended not how people wanted.
No, including the cast.
Gets notoriously totally dunked on for being so bad.
Yes.
I kind of have a theory that, you know, maybe it wasn't the best ending, but it wasn't the worst. But the reason why everyone says it's the worst is because there were so many good theories on where it should go.
Right.
So when the show actually ended and didn't live up to those theories, it got an even worse thing.
It's hard to, like, theorize so hard and, like, do what we do, look at, like, Reddit and TikTok,
which
and
is
see
still
what
fun.
It's fun. I'm gonna do it, obviously, but, like, it's hard when you're, like, looking at all that stuff and, like, people are, like, coming up with really compelling things and like it doesn't happen, and it's like a huge bummer. I will say, though, I think that the reason Game of Thrones didn't land is because it wasn't that bad things happened. It's that it wasn't well done and fleshed out enough.
Yeah, they weren't,
because they rushed it. The guy, the D&D, as they're known, like the showrunners, like they rushed it because they just wanted to be done with it so they could move on to their fucking Star Wars trilogy they got signed on, and then fucking lost because HBO was like, all the money and all the time in the world, we'll do 2 more seasons, full 10 episodes, and they're like, no, we can wrap it up in 7 episodes. Like, Danny going mad, totally love. Would have been awesome, but it was like, felt way too rushed. Like it was
30 minutes
long. It was like 30
like...
minutes, and now she's just completely insane. And it's like, but if you look back, you can see she does some pretty fucked up stuff. Yeah, but like the actual choice to become like the Mad Queen needs to not be a day, like, and stuff like that. So, and I don't think they'll do that with this.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think any show can ever do that again and
I
not
will
get
say,
ridiculed.
As much as I love this show, they got to finish it out this next season.
You think 3 and done?
I think 3 and done, just because you run the risk of... I was originally thinking that this was the final season.
Might have been the end.
And I was starting to get worried because I'm like, you got a lot to wrap up.
We got a lot
to wrap up. But I think 1 season is enough to wrap everything up.
Yeah. They could. They very easily could.
Yeah.
Again, as someone who has officially decided to stop planning for what's going to happen and expecting stuff, I'm still going to read people's theories and like watch people's theories and stuff, but I'm just not going to get attached to any anymore and stuff. I feel like you could wrap all of it up, but there's a way we get at least 2 more seasons out of it, and I think it would be, and I don't think it would like
I could see
fall flat or like be like drag on too long.
Like maybe a season of answers and then a season of them using those answers to like fight Lumen and like destroy Lumen or something along those lines.
But like, I mean, you don't want to do like in my favorite sitcom Community, but there's a whole episode where they it's very funny, they what is it, repilot is what it's called, where they like kind of like they like come back and like kind of start over,
Right.
and stuff. And it's funny when Community does it because they know they're doing it. It's a very self-aware show, and like Abed, the one who's like knows they're in a show, kind of a character, uses Scrubs as an example. He was like, last 2 seasons of Scrubs, dude, Zach Braff's only in it for the first 2 episodes, and like they repilot and stuff, and it's just not as good. And like watching an episode at the end of that episode where they're talking, and he's like, see, and he's like, see there he is, and they're like, yeah, like this ain't good. So like there is like, I wouldn't want them to like repilot, you know what I mean? Like I think it's like we have our story, like taking down Lumen is the story, you know. And so like if they can successfully do that in like 1 season, that's fine, you know what I mean? But like I'd love two more seasons, because I feel like there's a lot of like things you could still explore, like I don't know, like just I love Helly so much and I hate Helena so much, and I'm like, we get 2 more seasons of that dynamic for sure. And then like, well, then it's the whole thing about like, is she pregnant? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
You know, because with the title sequence with the little baby Kier crawling across,
right?
Like, is that the fucking plan? To get him to finish Cold Harbor, which is, you know, which we'll talk a little bit more about what like the most important thing they've ever been able to do, like their biggest thing that they're like most excited to change the world with and stuff. He does that. So he's the one that deserves the honor of like impregnating, like making the next Egan that they can put like, you know, maybe all of the consciousness of all the other past
land the
CEOs,
finished consciousness
and like like he obviously, like, I don't know, it seemed like, I don't think it was just Helena was like, I'm gonna get it before Helly does, because they obviously hate each other.
Yeah.
I think there's some nefarious shit behind it as well and stuff. And so it, like, that's a whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I have a theory on that as well, but I'll save it towards the end, because it is relevant to the final.
Your final
scene.
Magnum opus. Oh yeah.
Well, and the Magnum opus, but yeah, the final scene was brutal.
The final scene was very rough.
You did just remind me, though, that was the other part of the GOAT theory.
Oh god.
Was that when they show his name, the actor's name, on the screen in the intro credits, a human turns into a goat.
Yes,
on the screen.
That's right. Yes, that's
I'm like,
right.
Come on, guys.
It's like, come on, come the
you
fuck
got
on,
to
dude.
stop.
That's so right. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. But also, speaking of theories, I feel like it does need addressing the fact that I gave my magnum opus theory of food scarcity, and then the next episode, is just full of food.
Mark eats so much Chinese food. There's the melon party.
There's just a whole feast. It's just like, oh my gosh, that Irv dinner. I was watching that like, come on, dude.
But again, we were like, no. But like. Maybe
we're coping,
like it was definitely heavy copium, but it was like, maybe like, you know, their house looks nicer than all the other houses.
Rich.
They're super rich. They can afford to do it because, you know, they're hard in the paint and Lumen and stuff, so they're super wealthy. And then like, Mark was like splurging. Helena showed up at this like what seemingly
crappy
like no-name little Chinese restaurant and stuff.
And
like,
she's obviously rich. Why would she go
obviously
there?
Rich because she went up and she was like, I'm the fucking CEO.
Yeah.
Mark's like, cool. Like, which was
very
fucking
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Loved that from Mark. But yeah, so I don't know. Jury's still out on the food thing.
Yeah. I mean, it could be. Who knows?
Still out.
All I know is that this is the worst show of all time if it's not food scarcity.
Yeah, exactly. I just know that I'm gonna fucking drag this show through the mud if this theory is not correct. Yeah. It's gonna be ass. Yeah. Just like Game of Thrones was.
Exactly like Game of Thrones.
Exactly. Oh my god. But we should talk. I'm still not convinced about Bert, dude. He did a very nice. He got Irv out of there.
Yeah.
He put him on a train, got him out of there. You know, seemingly might, you know, mail him all of his shit or whatever. But he was like, you and Radar need to fucking get.
Well, and my big question of him is that even his outie, or is he just like full blown? There's no innie and no outie.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing, dude. Because like, I saw some like cute edits that were like, you know, like love transcends Severance and
Right.
stuff. Like no matter what, he's like there was always a vibe with Gemma and Mark and stuff, and then Bert once Irv showed up to his house and stuff, he like sought him out and everything, and then he like sends him on his way. He's like, you got to get the fuck out of here. I'll buy you a ticket. Go.
Yeah.
Like just get. So like, you know, I think there is something to that, and I think that like that might be like part of the crux of the show, which is why the last scene was very, very frustrating, which we'll get to. But I just think Bert, I don't know, I was very much like, we hate Bert,
Right.
like all me and my homies hate Bert.
Yeah.
But I don't know, last time we see him in Irv, he's being very, very sweet and like sends him on his merry little way.
Well, and I saw a post that almost brought me to tears, talking about their little moment in the inside of the severed floor when they're in the garden and they're like wanting to kiss, and he's like, I'm not ready yet. But then when he's leaving on the train, he's like, I'm ready.
Yes.
And he's not, and it's just, oh man.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's like I don't want Bert. Like I don't want him to be evil, but I just can't trust him.
Yeah.
I just can't trust him, dude. He's literally sitting in front of a fireplace talking about heaven and hell.
Well,
dude,
and he's
in the
clearly
dinner.
like the guy who takes the trash out, as they say.
Exactly, dude. Like it's a whole fucking thing. Speaking of sitting in front of a fireplace, I did think that was an interesting place for when they go to the birthing cabins. So
Yes.
Mark and Mark S can have a conversation,
Such
which
a cool
was
scene.
so fucking cool. The coolest way they could have done that.
Yeah.
Just like in filmmaking wise, like so fucking awesome. Their whole back and forth. But Mark S is the any one. He's like, for when he starts to get mad and like get like
Right.
start yelling at Audi Mark, he's like sitting in front of a fireplace like Bert was, and
Right.
and he's like, fuck you, fuck her, fuck everybody, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna fucking kill me.
Well, and it makes
Like,
sense because like Audi Mark was kind of treating him like a newborn baby almost.
Yeah.
Like the way he was talking to him was very
Yeah.
like infantile, and
Yeah, but I did see some people say, and I think I agree, like kind of going back and like thinking about it, Andy Mark was kind of acting like a baby and stuff. The
Yeah.
way he storms out with Cobell, like and stuff,
For sure.
it has very like I hate you, like
Yeah.
slam the door, like energy to
like
it, honestly.
rebellious teenager.
Yeah, like there's a little bit of that energy, because I mean, like obviously he's gonna be super curious that they're talking and stuff, and
Right.
they have a bunch of questions about like everything and stuff. You know, like a toddler, why, like what,
Yeah.
like sure and stuff. But like once he starts to get mad, there is like a little bit of like a teenage angst kind of
Yeah.
energy to it and stuff, which I don't think is like wrong of him,
No.
but I think it's something worth like noting and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like, but he does the thing, man. Audi Mark, he mispronounces
I know.
he calls her
Dude.
Helene or something.
Come on,
like,
man. How do you mess that
like
up?
come on, dude. And that's what, and he just gets so, which again, very teenage like
Her name
talking about
is-
my girl, dude.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck, dude? Like yeah, and
It's
that-
Leviosa.
yeah, exactly. Very like, okay, pronunciation
Yeah.
like is gonna ruin this entire plan.
But I do understand it, because it kind of went to show, like it kind of proved to any Mark that like the Audis and the other people don't really view them as like having any like human emotions or feelings or stuff. Like they're just like not even people, basically. Which I think was kind of like the whole point of this season, pretty much.
yeah, I think
And
so
probably
too.
the show is just showing
Yeah.
that.
Well, that's what I was just kind of like. I was kind of bummed in that scene because I got that feeling from Audi Mark too.
Yeah.
That like he was like, yeah, like, you know, like you're not, you know, like your life doesn't really matter.
Right.
Like and stuff, like, and you need to help me save Gemma because that's what matters, and all this any stuff is irrelevant and stuff. Like,
And then lying to him too about
yeah.
how we're gonna live this perfect world outside where we
it'll
both
be
share the
totally
time,
fine.
and
It'll be totally fine.
Yeah.
It's she's gotten better at it.
Yeah.
She's gotten better, you
Yeah.
know, apparently. So like I don't know. I mean, having Cobell to help with the reintegration, like, you know, maybe it could really work and it
Yeah.
could be a thing. But that's the thing. There's no way that any Mark could be with Helly. Like
No.
there's just no way.
I mean, unless Well, no, because Jim's in the picture now. I was gonna say apparently, Helena's like all about outing Mark.
Yeah,
So,
dude, she's all about Mark regardless,
Yeah.
like one way or another, dude. She's into him. Yeah, I don't. What was that? What was that thing? I think you or Cam said it was like that message, like a meme where it was like I think I'm gonna like off myself or whatever, and it was like, oh no, wait, let me hit first. Like that's Helly saying that to Mark, or Helena saying that to Mark, like, wait, let me hit first.
Yeah,
like and so because like she's like, I don't give a shit, like saying that to any Mark, like kind of thing. That was fucking hilarious and very accurate. And
I mean, that whole dynamic's just so strange.
it's so fucking weird, dude.
Yeah.
It's so fucking weird. I don't know. Trying to think of anything else that's like before we get into wild speculation about the future and stuff. Because I mean, like, I feel like Milkshake, dude. Fucking what is it? Devour feculence, is that what it is? Yeah. So good. It means eat shit.
Yeah. I mean, he
man, dude,
murdered it this season.
He was,
and
I swear to God, if he doesn't get an award,
he's gonna be like the next. I don't know. First name that comes to mind is like Pedro Pascal, to where he just blows up. He's so talented, and like I saw another thing talking about how the dance party in season 1, was just it was just all like
it really just said like improv. It said just like Defiant Jazz Dance Party, like that was the only direction and stuff, and he was just like, all right, like, and he just fucking throws down, dude, and everybody else does exactly what they need to do in that moment too, like any Mark dancing so weird, Irv just kind of nodding his head and snapping his fingers, and obviously Dylan's got a whole thing where he's pissed, so he's not doing anything. Like it was, that scene's so perfect.
Well, and when Mark finishes Cold Harbor, it's that whole him bringing out the statue and everything like that was just so funny. And so perfect.
And then all the fucking marching band like thing was so fucking cool. And something interesting, I saw a TikTok. I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was, but she was like that's like a historical black college, like a HBCU kind of like marching band vibe.
Well, and it was the same colors as his high school marching band too. Which
exactly.
I saw,
which is awesome.
Yeah.
But like it was like him, like the way he was like, like leading it and everything, like that. She's like, that is the same energy that like comes from that and stuff. And it's like so like, and she was like talking about it like in terms of the show, like it's like, so he's like, he's bringing in like, cause like as far as we know, he's not severed, like, and like he's just grew up and then got a job there and like just did a good job and everything. So like it adds to the whole thing of like, oh, don't use so many big words and stuff, and like that whole thing where it's like, well, he's getting allowed to do a little bit of his culture in there and stuff, and like, and so on the one hand, it's like that's cool, but also like I get why they like, we're like, okay, this is the time we have a distraction, we can go and like enact our plan and stuff and lock him in the fucking bathroom and stuff and everything. But I thought that was a cool thing that person on TikTok was talking about and everything. I was like, that's cool. Cause he fucking kills it in that scene, dude. It's so fucking good.
Even the little stand-up routine with the statue, so perfect.
But then the what's interesting about that too, somebody pointed out that I like didn't really think about, but totally makes sense, when they're doing like the marching band thing, and they like flip up the like boards and it has Mark's face on it. Yeah, like that's a like bird's eye view, like straight down shot. No one can see that. They broke the fourth wall. Because like nobody there would have been able to see that. Yeah, because the ceilings are so low, and so like that was for us.
That was solely
which
for us,
is really a really weird place to break the fourth wall. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they like speculated on it too much, or if they did, I don't remember exactly what it meant and stuff. But that's a really weird time to like this is how we're gonna break the fourth wall, very quick and subtle, because like it's literally impossible for anybody in that room to see that, right? Unless there's like a camera on the ceiling, which I mean there could be cameras everywhere, obviously, and it was like that's like a to show how good that department is doing, you know, because they're a whole department that's like meant to do this like kind of a thing and stuff. Like, so it could be that, it could be as simple as that, but it still breaks the fourth wall in a way. I don't know. It's fucking weird. The show's fucking wild.
It's pretty wild. There's definitely a lot of things like that. That's just, and I think that's partially why so many people have theories, is because there's so many things that's like, but why?
Yeah, so many subtle things. Like I literally like, I'm like, how the fuck did I not catch that?
Yeah.
Like, I was just amazed by how fucking dope the whole scene was. I didn't like be like, wait, stop, think, like theorize, you know. But and then I think the only last thing that I want to talk about before we get to your couple of theory things, and the last scene, Dylan. Oh. First of all, to transition from Milchek to Dylan, when he gives him the thing, and he's like, here you go, here's the thing, and he just turns and bolts because it's bad news.
The second I saw that, I immediately tried to go on my phone to pull up the thing and screen record it to make a GIF, because I'm like, this is the perfect GIF.
It's so good. It's so good.
But Apple has this thing built into where you can't screen record.
Yeah, a lot of things do that.
Should have thought about that.
Yeah,
but, luckily someone else made it. I don't know how, but
bless them.
My God, I mean, the memes from that. My favorite is the doctor. His X-ray is totally safe. Running out of the room.
Exactly. It's so funny because like it makes sense, because like the last time Milchek directly gave Dylan bad news, Defiant Jet, he attacks him. You know, like and stuff. So he's probably just like, I gotta get the fuck out of this room.
Well, yeah, and I can't
go get ready for.
That's what I was thinking.
Thing,
I was like,
you know?
he's so amped to do this.
He's got so many things going on,
routine.
but also it's like a combination. But it's just so funny to watch. Yeah. He's just like, here you go, fucking bolts, dude. It's
quick
so
turn,
funny.
run.
That's so funny. But that's all to say. The bad news is that's Dylan's Audi being like, no, you're not quitting. Like, we're not quitting. Because it after with Gretchen, which when he's like begging for, he has a little ring, which is so cute, but he's like, Gretchen!
Yeah. Well, and he kind of, if I recall, put it in a way that's like, listen, like, if you really do want to, you can. But I think writing that letter helped like show like we're kind of the same dude here, like, because like the wording and like all the fucks in it and everything like that was so like any him. But that, I mean, his whole when she left, and it's just brutal.
It's so brutal.
They pulled on the heartstrings like a ton.
Season. Yeah, dude, there was a lot more as we got like deeper into these characters and finally got to like not only know the Audis better, which like we got to know the Audis better, which we didn't get to know any except for Mark in the first season, really. We got a lot more Audis from all of them and like what they're like and stuff, but like the innies are going through so much like this season, which of course makes total sense and like is exactly what should happen in terms of the storytelling, I think, and everything. But yeah, Dylan, dude, it just like, but then he comes back from that news and like Helly is in the middle of like trying to like keep him locked up, and then he just comes rushing in with the fucking vending machine, and it's like, let's fucking go. He's like, yeah, fuck this place, fuck everything, like and then that all red color because the alarm's going on. He's like, fuck you, Mr. Milchek.
I mean, just incredible,
which he said last season finale too. Like, so now he's gotten to be like, fuck you.
I think I remember texting you guys in the chat saying like, I think everyone's in the show is like reaching their boiling point, and this finale is going to be crazy. And I think that's kind of showing it, the whole like pushing and just being so everyone was just so angry in that last bit. So good.
It was so good. I just like, I don't know, what do we think about when Mark is finishing Cold Harbor before the dope band comes out and Milchek does his fucking thing and earns like a 5th award that he deserves, that actor deserves. What do we think? Like Mark and Helly's like conversation, they're like a little back and forth while he's like kind of finishing up, and she's like, I'm her. Like when he's like, I need to do this thing to save Gemma, and like this is the plan, but also I don't want to not exist anymore. I want to be with you. Like I want to live with you and stuff. I forget exactly what he says, how he phrases it, but like and she says like I'm her to him, and he kind of like
Yeah,
finishes the file and stuff. And like I've seen some people being like, that's Helena
yeah.
saying that, but I've also seen, and I think, well, I don't know, because it's like it also could be that that's her saying like Helly saying I'm all like I am Gemma
I am
to Audi Mark, so like you should do this kind of a thing,
right?
Like it could be like a motivational thing, because like I'm pretty sure like that's kind of the end of the conversation. He finishes the file, then shit pops off and stuff. So
I don't know about that, but I do feel like that last convo helped make his decision in the end.
Yeah,
just because it really solidified, like pushed forward the feeling of like, this is not fair. Like, we are our own people. So yeah, I mean that whole final bit in the hallway was just like it borderline painful to watch.
It was excruciating to watch.
Yeah,
because like, okay, let's. I want to go back and kind of go through this series of events until we get to the final thing.
We got to talk when the dude erupts in blood.
Exactly, that's where we're gonna start. So, Mark is trying to get into the exports hall and stuff. Dude, Drummond comes out. They fucking start fighting. Fucking Brianna Tarth comes in with the fucking one-shot gun thing that they were going to use to kill the goat. Everything's good. She leaves with the goat. She's happy. He's got the thing. And then they're going down the elevator.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a term for it, but
jaw
like
dropped.
Gasp screamed.
Yeah.
Because it was like screamed because I was like, holy shit, this is happening, and gasp like a pure like clutching my pearls like
right
like moment, like when he's got his name, he's like, here's what's gonna happen, and then he starts to change, and during that he tenses up, just pops him,
blast this,
and it was one of the most like realistic someone just got shot in the neck, like
the blood
that's ever
just
happened.
Like pouring out.
So well done in terms of that. As a horror fan, like lots of gory things and things that I like to watch and stuff. This was wild. Maybe because it was so out of place for a show like this. I don't know, but like it just hit so well in a way that I was like, I didn't even think it. Like I was I was like. It happened, and I was like, of course he would. Of course this would happen.
Yeah. Well, like, and I was so locked in, I didn't even think about the fact that he would switch in the elevator.
I didn't either. I didn't either. Like I wasn't thinking about anything. I was just like, okay, the plan's working. Yeah. Like he's got him. Like he's gonna be able to be like, yeah, like no, if somebody tries to stop him and stuff. I was like, okay, let's go get Gemma. And then the fucking ding, and then just
crazy.
So wow. And then when he just like he falls over, and then he just like
the door closing and opening. Yeah.
So, which is very good for them when they can get out and stuff. But so he goes and he finds Gemma in Cold Harbor. So we weren't wrong where it was like to see if we can erase intense trauma.
Yeah.
It wasn't because the whole fucking the misdirect with the would you rather drown or suffocate and stuff, but it was disassemble the fucking crib that you never got to build because you had a miscarriage. She's like, okay. She goes in and does it. Like, they're like, we did it. This is what Cold Harbor's about. We can remove people's trauma with Severance.
Well, and I think it was also to like show fully that integration is like a full split, which is another reason why I think they had Gemma working as like the closely with Mark in season 1 was to kind of like test that a little bit leading up, but they needed like a real trauma that would bring those memories back.
Well, that's why they had what's it called? They had Cobell so intensely watching his wellness sessions and the candle. Yeah, like with the candle, it's like her candle or like a candle that she like made or one of them made or something. Like they lit that there and stuff, and she's like intensely watching, like what the fuck is happening? Like is one of them gonna like, and he's being reminded about what his Audi is like,
Right.
you know? So it's like, it's a whole fucking thing. And it's like, yeah, okay. And then, cause she's going dentist. She's going to the dentist in one of them. She's doing something she fucking hates, which is writing thank you notes and stuff with her offhand and everything. So like, it's painful and like, it sucks. Like, and she hates doing it and stuff. So they're like slowly building. So like that being what Cold Harbor is crazy. And why they picked Gemma, why they got her. Like, cause obviously the fertility clinic, Lumen, the little water drop, blood drop, whatever you want to call it, like symbol is there. It's obviously a Lumen thing. They sent her those cards. Remember those cards in season 1 with the guy doing the like Tai Chi type thing and stuff?
Yeah.
She gets that. They like send those out to people, and like she was responsive to it because she was struggling with her trauma. Obviously that clinic would know that she had a miscarriage because it was a fertility clinic and stuff. So like they're like, cool, this is so now the question, my biggest question is like, so how did she get trapped in there for the past 2 years while they worked on this? Like, did they purposely fake the thing? Did they have a guy on the inside? Like,
kidnapper,
it seems like,
or
it's like
did she do it willingly?
It seems like it's either it was willing, or they created a scenario and stuff. But it's hard to think that they created it. It's weird because we know that Mark was there when the car crash happened, right?
We know that he came and like saw the body.
Well, I remember there was a theory that I had seen a dude talk about where he's like, I think Mark was drunk and
I saw that.
And
yeah,
was
I
the
saw
one
that because he was drinking so much.
He was drinking and driving, and that's what caused. And instead of like stopping drinking, he spiraled even further into it and stuff. So which implies that means we know that he was there in some fashion when the car wreck happened. And obviously he's like, oh, I identified her completely burnt body. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. People have been trying that since the fucking 1700s, bro.
Yeah.
Like, come on, that you can't confirm that shit.
Yeah.
And they also have all this dental stuff, they could switch dental records, pay somebody off easy. So that's one of my biggest questions is like, how did she get there,
right,
and stuff. But
I was kind of thinking maybe they promised her something in the fertility center, because like I do think that she was there willingly because, and maybe it's because she's there for so long. She's relatively calm when she's in the thing, and it's kind of like, oh, I get to see Mark soon, or like I get to leave soon. Like it sounds like she went in there thinking that something was going to happen as long as she did these trials.
I feel like the only thing it could have been was if she does this and goes through this, we know now that they were going to kill her. Once they got it done, they were just going to, because they can't really like. It seems like it was like, we'll help you have a baby.
Yeah,
like, and we'll get you a baby.
It's
like
kind
of pure you and Mark baby.
It's my biggest question is we know that the goal is to like remove these traumas. But like, then what? If they were just gonna kill her, it's like, can they extract something in her brain to where then they can do that to anyone and they just won't have trauma? Or like, what's the purpose?
I think. Well, so here's a big part of it. So that means, they had her, and they had Mark working on her, because the scary numbers, he would have been able to see better than anybody,
right?
Because they were so close, obviously.
Yeah.
Because just real quick, did you see all the thirst traps from the Gemma episode of the? All right, now turn around and bend over when he was gonna like give her the shot. And
oh
stuff.
yeah.
And it was like like these stitches where women were just like. Oh. Like just like being gagged by it and stuff. Like, so funny. And hey, I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
that was wild. Young Mark, when they like first meet, when they're donating blood, I was like, who?
Yeah.
Who is this man? Nuts.
So smooth with her too.
So also, did you see that LA Times photo shoot? So I think it was LA Times photo shoot. It's Adam Scott, Britt Lower, and Lichen, whatever her name is, Gemma, Helly, and Mark. Just we'll look at it after.
Ultimate threesome.
It's, if you're not bi, you might be by the time you're done.
Take a look.
It's insane.
Yeah.
They're all just so gorgeous. Literally, like, and then of course you've heard the song, right?
The song.
Mark is hot, Helly's hot,
No.
Jim is hot,
Oh
Dylan's hot, Irv is hot. They're all so hot.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that one TikTok song.
I mean, there's literally, I would say everyone but, God, why am I blanking on his name?
Drummond.
Drummond, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of all hot.
Everybody is extremely attractive except for maybe Drummond. No offense.
I saw a post that was, hot take, Cobell's pretty hot. And someone was like, you mean this, like, sex icon from the 80s?
Yeah, you mean,
Wow.
wow. Patricia Arquette is hot.
Hot
like,
take, water is wet.
Hey, hear me out. Hear me out. Patricia Arquette is hot. Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
The comments were just dogging on this dude. Like, come on, brother.
Good. That's insane.
Yeah,
That's insane. Very far digression. I'm trying to circle back to. Sorry, I was thinking about how hot they are. I forgot.
Distracted.
I forgot. It's not just about that here. We're talking about important things. They're gonna kill her. Mark was working on her because he would know her best and stuff, and it seems like they'll be able to like emulate that kind of thing. Like once they know that it can be done, they can do it to anybody with enough time.
Right.
So who the fuck or what the fuck? What are the other ones working on?
They gotta be working on other people.
They have to be working on other people.
So I did see something that was talking about how there was 3 total doors down there of like where she comes out to go to whatever room she's working on.
Yeah, she has like her little home.
Yeah.
You talk about Gemma, right?
Yeah,
she has like
Gemma.
her little, like where she stays.
Yeah, when she comes out of that door, there's 2 other doors
Yeah.
by it, which would kind of make sense that
Like aren't
Helly's
labeled.
not really working on anyone.
Yeah,
because
she's not doing
she's kind of
shit.
just a plant.
Yeah, like and if
But
she
the other
and if
2
she's working on something super unimportant, but they're like, maybe
Right.
she'll make some progress on this. That's fine.
Yeah.
Or just pick up where Petey left off, and like it
Right.
doesn't matter if it happens. Yeah.
But the other 2 could be working on someone else.
Yeah, but there it's always been, you know, Cold Harbor, like Mark S is so
Right.
close, like and stuff, like are they working on the same thing and Mark's just like, but well, no, see, I was gonna say like, but Mark S is the closest because he's the best refiner, but it seems like Dylan's the best.
Dylan was
refiner.
definitely season
because
1. He
like
was
yeah,
just
he
the goat.
he got the waffle party twice.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and no one else has done that. You know, like no one's like achieved like their numbers so well. So like Dylan's the best one. So like what is
He
it
has
about?
so many
is
self-portraits.
it because it's Gemma?
Yeah. Well, so the rest of them could just be environment setters for Mark's Any. So that he's not just like going insane.
Yeah, it's just one person just doing one thing. Like, yeah, you get some like a little bit of like an office like space, like an office environment kind of a thing. It could be.
Yeah.
It could be, and they're just like it's Lumen, so they have all the money in the world, so they can just like they can pay all of these people well enough to like keep coming back. You know, like I don't know. I think it's wild, but I think it's time. So Mark shows up. She's like, I don't know about this dude, and he's like, please just come out here, just come out of the hallway. He's covered in blood.
Yeah.
And they just hardcore make out. And I was fine with that.
Yeah.
Because I was so happy to see them finally
Yeah.
see each other and make out.
I mean, that was incredible.
That
When
was
she like walks
so
out the
beautiful.
door and turns back, it's incredible.
It's
But
so good.
I do think him being covered in blood is super important because it's like he broke the severness, what they were trying to avoid, and he did it while like being the most terrifying random stranger to like ever come up to you ever. Like
exactly, right. Like she was able to, again, love could transcends like you can get rid of people's trauma, but love you might not be able to no matter what, kind of a thing. Which, if that is kind of the whole point of this show, this might be the best show that's ever been made, because that's so fucking beautiful. And like, because I think that's a great point. He's covered in blood, complete stranger to her in this moment, and she's still
like she's never seen another human being at this point, because she's just severed for the first time.
She's seen at this point, she walks in alone. She hears the thing, and she's like, okay, and like here's the guy, and he's like, he's here to hurt you. He's here to hurt you. Look at him. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And she still willingly goes with him.
Right.
Like, no problem.
Yeah.
So beautiful. So amazing. And then But it is funny when they they run away and like they get to the elevator, push Drummond's fucking dead body out of the way, so it goes, and there's hardcore making down the elevator again, and then ding, now it's Miss Casey and Mark
Which again, I
and
was not even putting two and two together that was going to happen.
I know, I completely forgot too. I was like, they've done it, and I was like, there's so many more steps. They have to do.
I was like, they're out
because they're like, they're kind of like, and she goes again. Acting is insane. She goes straight. What's happening, Marcus? Like just full Gemma or full Miss Casey again. And he's like, okay, like he has to kind of process. He's like, this is my Audi's wife, so that's why we're making it. Okay, he's like, okay, trust
Next
me,
steps.
we gotta go. Like he's like kind of like, because he's probably also like, I mean, there's no way Marcus wasn't like, damn, Miss Casey fine. Like like
actually,
but So yeah, they run around, they do their thing, they run, they get to the fucking hallway, the door, the staircase, the fucking staircase. Anybody who doesn't know what's happening right now, Justin and Austin and they're hanging out, if they hear me say the staircase and us freaking out, they're gonna be like, what the fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean? Is it bad? Is it good? Well, here's the answer. We don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Because she gets out and she's like, Mark, come on. And then who fucking comes around the corner at that exact moment but fucking Helly? Question mark?
Okay, so it was confirmed that it was Helly by the actress.
She said it was definitely
She did a Q&A like after the finale, but I was so sold on it being Helena.
The look smirk on her face when Mark's back is turned and she looks at Gemma begging him to come. That was a fucking, as Irv would say, cruel fucking Helena.
And the fact that she didn't even say anything of like, are you sure? I know.
I got chills thinking about that scene. Yeah. She is also deserving of every single person deserves an award, but like her and Milchek specifically. To be honest.
And that's what I was thinking was like, she didn't even say like, are you sure? Like, what are we going to do with her?
No,
like it was just like, is the love taking over? It's got to be what it is.
I know. It's just like Mark S.'s love for Helly took over in that moment, and like, it was greater, or like not greater, but just like I guess like was greater than his Mark Scott's love for Gemma, because he's the one in control in the moment, and he's not. He started the reintegration process, but like, they only did like a couple sessions. Like him and Gavi were only able to do like 2 or 3 maybe tops. Yeah. Before they were like, he might die, we gotta stop. That kind of thing. So I don't know. I just like.
Well, and so that was one of.
I did not know that Britt had that Q&A and it's confirmed.
I don't know this direct quote, but
I'm like, oh, okay, that's just straight up bullshit still. Because like that, I watched that scene like I rewinded it like 3 or 4 times just to look at her face so I could be like, that fucking Helena bitch. Yeah. I was so convinced.
I know that's her.
I know it's her.
Which I saw another theory that was talking about how when the red lights go on, she immediately goes back to Helena. Because obviously, like, if some shit was going down, you would want like an upper level to be in it.
CEO to be aware and be able to make the right decisions for the company and stuff.
Which had me pretty sold, but then I was thinking like, well, she was fighting with Milchek and like helping stop that. Which maybe she just had to go along with it.
Yeah, maybe she was just going along to get along in that moment and stuff. Yeah. Dude, I don't fucking know. That is really blowing my mind, because I had a long I was talking to a coworker about it yesterday. We had a long conversation about that fucking smirk. Yeah. like she and I both were like, there's no fucking way, dude. There's no fucking way, because Helly was never cruel.
I know. I mean, it was such a setup to where it just felt like that had to have been what it is. But I think that goes back to their final conversation.
Right.
Is that kind of made the decision for them both of what they were going to do.
Yeah, exactly. God.
Which, one of the big theories I saw, not to get too deep into theories, but...
No, we will.
That was the true test of Cold Harbor. He didn't choose Gemma, and he chose Helly.
He chose Helly instead. Wait.
Which is kind of like a reversal, I guess.
He wasn't just working on her, but himself?
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to the whole idea of like how Helly or Helena, I can't remember who it was at the time, was saying like, this is all part of the plan. Like everything we do, they know we're doing, and they want us to do this and stuff like that.
That was Helena playing Helly.
Right.
That's one of the.
That
first,
would make sense
I think that's
that
before,
could just be wrong.
I think that's like the first or second episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it's after the Keanu Reeves stop motion. Thanks. So first episode. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's because they're like, no, we're different people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was Helly. Yeah. Or Helena rather. Who said that? Yeah.
Which she could just be saying that to get in their heads or something. So.
Dude, fuck, dude. That is interesting. Like, okay, like there's an emergency going on. Like she pops out of it.
Yeah.
Like kind of a thing. But if that's what Britt Lauer said.
Yeah, I'll have to look up the quote later.
Or maybe in the script that's what it said.
Yeah,
fucking
or maybe
in the writer.
It's just like how Rickon's saying he's not a goat. Yeah, exactly. They have to say this to
to say these things.
Keep the suspense.
Exactly, dude. I don't know. It seems weird that one thing would be 100% confirmed.
Yeah,
like
well,
that,
and it does
casually.
seem weird that you would destroy a theory in an interview like that
immediately.
That seems like something they would say, like, I can't really speak on that.
Yeah, exactly. You like let people, that way people will talk about it.
Because surely there's
interesting. See, I don't know. See, no conspiracy theory hat.
Yeah,
bullshit, dude. That was fucking.
I believe
unless a little bit of a Helena is like, okay.
Yeah.
What if
I'm following?
Helly has been alive long enough for a bit of Helena's true nature to start coming out,
similar to Mark
and Mark
reintegrating.
Yes,
like
I don't think she's reintegrating, but like.
I mean, it happened with Irv as well.
Yeah.
And he wasn't reintegrating.
And he wasn't reintegrating, as far as we know. Yeah. Like, so, like, what if there was a little bit of the true, like, your, not to say actual self, but
like a little bit of that cruelness.
Yeah. Like that, maybe
creeping in.
Slipping in.
Yeah.
And it is Helly, but maybe she's going to start kind of not being the Helly we all know.
Yeah. I like that.
Because she was like, because that smirk is fucking.
Yeah.
Bitch.
I got you, man.
Is cruel. It's the only word you can use for it. It's so cruel. Okay. I'll leave that as my headcanon for it for now.
I like that.
It's a Helena slipping in a little bit because Helena won or Helly won in this moment and stuff. Like, I don't know. It's just all so. And then they run down the hallway to a beautiful music, and they do like an old school thing where they freeze frame and zoom in real nice and hard. That's a classic old school filmmaking thing that I'm so happy to see somebody do again.
Well, in such a good way too.
Oh, a beautiful moment to do it too. The music playing, everything is so perfect about it. So I think it's time now. It's finally time.
Yeah.
What's your big theory and your other like sidewinder theory?
So my other sidewinder was the hallway was the true Cold Harbor kind of test.
Right.
But
yeah, what will Mark S choose in this moment? Knowing what he knows. Like they know he knows.
Well, and they knew he was sorry, I got to hit this as well. The thing that aggravated me the most about that final scene was the fact that like the reintegration that kept happening with Mark just kind of like stopped happening.
It did.
Like I'm like, you'd think that kick in a little bit, but
you think there'd be like those weird like flashes of like this moment, like I'm outside, I'm inside, like back and forth kind of thing. Yeah, those did kind of just like stop.
They kind of stopped.
It could have been like because they'd only done a few sessions, like it kind of wore off, and it's like you have to like
that's
keep
very true.
Doing them.
Well, and
like,
he stopped taking whatever he was
stopped taking his weird little shots and stuff. So like maybe
that
might be part of it. I don't know. Just as devil's advocate, kind of a thing.
Okay, so the main thing I'm thinking right now, and this is kind of to take away some of the craziness of the theories to avoid the Game of Thrones effect, but my theory is that Lumen is just kind of like, what's the word I want to use? Kind of just a cult and doesn't really have a greater purpose past that.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to do all of these things and we think, oh, this is going to like change the world or like they're going to do something with this, but kind of where I'm at right now is that they're just like a cult.
Yeah.
Fucking around.
Yeah.
And that's like, there's no real, like, they're trying to breed out this like fear, but there's no real like practical use. They're just kind of like messing around trying to make like the perfect person for their cult.
I think to like kind of like piggyback off of that, I think they, like we talked about last episode, Lumen is hyper like organized religion vibes.
Right.
Like there's no doubt about that.
Right.
It like, and as we go deeper into it, it's getting away because it starts off and it seems like it's like hella pro like union and like workforce versus the corporate like overlord kind of a vibe. And there is that still, but it's getting way more into like religious stuff.
Yeah.
Like just the themes and how everything is playing out. I think that Cold Harbor will change the world because they'll be able to erase people's trauma thanks to Kier. And so like I feel like it's like, oh hey, we figured out how to get rid of people's trauma through Gemma and Mark.
Right.
Kill Gemma. We know how to do it. We know we can do that. Now we can do that, and oh, you want to have your trauma eradicated from your brain? Cool. Fine print on page 200 of the terms and conditions you sign. It also says, also you will be like your chip will implant you with a full devotion to Kier and that way of life, so they can change the world and make it perfect. There's no more trauma, dystopian like theocracy.
It's like Star Wars clones or something like that.
Like they can make a devoted theocracy to Kier because there's no more pain or trauma in the world, and everybody is and that's the thing. They only have to do that to everybody who's alive right now. Because then once everybody's already done that, then that's how they're raised. That's how the world works. So it will change the world forever, and then you don't even need to get severed. Ever again. So that I
which works hand in hand.
Agree. I completely agree with that. That it's like they're a crazy fucking cult, but they want to take over the world mentality. You know,
because it's just
like, this is what all organized religions want to do.
Right.
Fucking at me.
There's so many weird things within the show that's like it really seems, and I think it's true, that there's only like 4 people working there.
Okay, so we got...
And that kind of goes with the whole crazy cult thing where, like, they're not really doing anything.
We got Drummond, gone. So he's gone. One of the, like, few people. You got, we'll start at the bottom. We got Drummond, dead. Natalie, seemingly very important.
The old security guy.
Dead, gone. We've got Milchek. Cobell, not there anymore. So, like, Milchek. Miss Wong, she's getting shipped off for the fellowship.
Which is crazy.
She may or may not get back. And stuff. She used to bring her bed though.
Yeah.
Which real quick. Yeah. That was something about the Rickon works for Lumen thing. He says something about like having to like move his bed.
Yeah.
As a child.
Yeah.
And stuff.
And how he has like 3 or 4 beds or whatever.
He says something about like, oh, must be like, he makes some weird comment like offhand and stuff, but then like tying it back. So Rickon, jury's still out on you, bud. You fucking goat.
Yeah.
Not the goat, but
a goat.
I mean, kind of the goat, but neither here or there. So you got Miss Wong's gone, Milchek's still there, Natalie's still there as far as we know. Helena, obviously, and her dad.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's literally the only people that we know who actively still work for Lumen.
Yeah,
like
I guess the bodyguard too.
Yeah,
that was there.
Bodyguard. But... Yeah, like I mean, there's obviously like a bunch of like no-name underlings and like goons and stuff. But like as far as like, and then the board, quote unquote,
don't exist.
Yeah, bullshit, dude. That's Natalie. That's Natalie's fucking role, dude.
Well, and there's so many instances.
I'll die on that hill.
The very end, the whole like I was kind of disappointed until I started to think about this. I was like, can't they just like shut them off externally, like from the outside? But it may just seriously be a thing to where the only way you control anything in regards to this is in that control room that they have. Like it's a super small, just like everyone who's involved is fully bought in.
Yeah. And and apparently it's very easy to move that control room because that's where they put the family center and stuff. Because like when Dylan first shows up to it, he's like, he's like, what the like, this is the control. What? And he's
Right.
like, no, this is the family center. Like, there's your Audie's wife, like your wife, like in there, go hang
Yeah.
out. So like, it's very easy to like. It's a very small room. Like there's like not a lot of working parts to it. Technically, well, they thought they needed 2 people to work it, but Dylan proved that wrong, which was gas as hell.
He's not even tall. His wingspan's
Like,
probably
that's
not
what I'm
even
saying,
that.
dude. Like he worked so hard. It was
Yeah.
so good. But yeah, so it seems like it does take a lot of like processing power. Like, okay, so to put it in a way, like, so when we went to the moon,
Mm-hmm.
the computer that we used to help us go to the moon in 69, was
Hell yeah.
an entire room.
Right.
Our phones have more computing power than that room did at the time. So could be like a couple things here that we could think about. Like, do they need, because of the way Severance works, it's obviously an insane technology. Do you need that much room to have the computing power to turn turn on the Glasgow protocol, the overtime contingency, like, or did they need that much room and now going forward, now they don't. Now you just need a computer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now maybe they've like it's they've been able to shrink it down how much like computing power you need, or like you can like there's like a, you know, because the whole thing with like the computers from the moon landing and like computers now is like it's because they didn't have like microchips and stuff.
Right.
Like maybe they have like a microchip that can like handle
Which
it.
advanced super
Yeah.
quick, and
Yeah.
we still don't know how long it was in between.
No, yeah, exactly, yeah. So
yeah.
it could be that because wait, no, we do know how long it's been because they said it was months, but then they were like
you're
it was
right.
literally a weekend.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
they moved the entire thing. So maybe they were like, again, it could be that they just moved the room somewhere and they
Yeah.
still need that much, or maybe they were like, actually, like we can knock that out, and like we're getting a thing where it's like you can have a tablet or like a computer,
Yeah.
and like you can like let Milkcheck's computer can do it from his computer in his office now.
Yeah.
You know, like kind of a thing because they were able to advance it.
Well, and you know, it is
and
interesting
stuff.
how all of their like computers, like even Milchek's computer, was like
Old.
ancient
looking, yeah.
It's interesting.
I did see, speaking of the computers and an interview with Britt Lauer, they apparently shot when she's trying to turn on the computer in the first episode of this season when she's like being Helena. So if they shot it multiple times where she just automatically turns it on, and then and where she's like trying to find it and stuff, and they ended up going with the she's kind of struggling.
It kind of gives a hint that that's
exactly.
not her.
They decided like yeah, we'll leave it in. There's enough like
Yeah.
we have room to like give some like see
Give
if
it a little
people will
tease.
notice kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I don't really know what else to say. I don't have any fucking clue where this possibly is going to go from here. We're gonna have to pick up.
What do they do?
We're gonna have to pick up them running down the hallway still.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna have to pick up.
Well, and
right
it's just
there.
where do you go from there?
And where do you go from there? No fucking clue.
No idea.
No fucking clue. Do people come? Milkcheck comes in because he's out,
Yeah.
but he's also surrounded by Dylan and all the marching band people who they were able to flip to the Union, so to
Right.
speak, like and stuff. So like, are they just gonna like keep him there and stuff? Is he able to get out? Like this, are the alarms going off? So like everybody involved, fucking the top Egan, like he's sitting there watching that shit happen with Gemma, and he's like, fuck, no! Yeah, and he's freaking out, which was great to see.
I saw an edit that was someone made it to where he was playing Super Mario on his computer and like gets hit by like a monster or something. He's just, fuck.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What?
Okay, that scene when
I hope you're gonna bring up
when he comes in to talk to Helly.
the egg.
No, not the egg.
Oh my god.
That was super fucking
fucking
weird. Yes.
gross. That
It was
made me
disgusting.
feel so icky.
I like soft-boiled eggs. Too.
Yeah.
Like that was disgusting.
You should have eaten it raw. Oh
Yeah.
god.
No. More important.
Yeah.
When she's trying to memorize and
Right.
he comes in.
What was that?
The moment he comes in and switches her to Helena. Because obviously he'd have that power.
Yeah.
Obviously he'd be able to do that Like he would, if anybody's gonna have the fucking special phone that you could do that with, it's gonna be that fucking guy for his daughter.
And then
from that moment on, she's Helena playing Helly again. Again, completely disregarding what she said in that interview. Just completely ignoring that. To be honest.
But yeah, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. Because that could play into the whole thing.
I don't really understand what that scene's for, except for that.
Yeah, I mean, I was confused.
Because he comes in and she's like, I'm gonna fucking kill this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And like, he obviously walks away. You know? So,
I mean, that could go back to the whole how they're trying to test any mark to say no to Gemma.
Sure.
Is that her coming to the hallway is like,
this
is part of it.
Yeah, that's fair. Again, just
interesting.
literally just off the dome. Just
and why she would help keep Milchek is because she's like, we got to do this test in this
being
hallway.
like being like, I have to help keep this in like
he needs to get Gemma out,
yeah,
so that we can do this,
so we can watch Mark S go.
That's interesting.
Bye, bitch. And then that smirk makes sense. It all comes back to that smirk. It was just so wild.
We'll have to look. I hope I was right about that interview, but I'm positive I saw something to where she did an interview.
And she was like, no, that's Helly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, as far as she knows.
Yeah.
True. He fucking knows, dude.
True.
Ben Stiller.
I didn't even think about that. How they definitely don't know.
Ben Stiller and the showrunners are Lumen.
Yeah.
And we're all innies
just
trying to figure out what's happening.
With this.
Yeah, exactly. Including the actors in the show. I think that's it. I think that's all I got.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No, I mean, I'm sure we missed something because there was just so much.
Oh, we missed so much for sure.
But no, I mean, it's so good.
It's so good.
I will say, like, after the episode ended, I was a little bit disappointed, but the more and more I thought about it, I'm like, this is the way.
Yeah.
This is,
for sure. Yeah.
This is what they need.
You
had
said
doing.
you were like kind of bummed, but whatever. And then I watched it and I was like, I get what you're saying.
Well, I'm just fiending for answers.
Yeah, I think.
And
that's
at
what
the end,
was.
I was like, I feel like we got nothing.
Exactly. we got so many answers. It's like we closed a ton of doors.
Yeah.
But opened more.
Yeah.
And it's not.
We closed doors we didn't know we had.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Cobell and everything like that.
Yeah, exactly. We closed so many doors and opened so many more. So it's like satisfying, but also like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, hell yeah. Thanks for making it down.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure.
One.
Thanks for having me.
Very fun. Very good. Lots of, I think I'm just going to do a full rewatch. In the next few weeks.
Span it out over
3 years.
2 years and
360 days. Yeah. Hopefully not that long, but yeah. That's it. Seems like we're wrapped up here. Follow on Insta and TikTok, all that good stuff. Any shout outs, any plugs?
I do want to plug a TV show me and Savannah just watched in like 2 days, I think. Hulu original, which is shocking to me because like they don't really make
their
too
TV,
much.
I haven't seen a lot of their TV shows, but their movies, like they'll do like horror movies and stuff.
Right.
Most of those are pretty mid.
Yeah,
so.
I've seen a couple of those, I think.
And they're, but whatever.
Paradise.
Okay, the like UFO-y kind of one.
Sort of.
Some kind of weird like government secret kind of thing.
Yeah, it gives me vibes of Silo.
Okay.
The Apple TV show.
Yeah.
To where it is, I mean, a little bit of a spoiler, but you find out in episode 1.
That's fine.
An event happens in the real world, like a Holocaust event. Not Holocaust.
Nuclear Holocaust.
Yeah, nuclear
wipeout kind of thing. Yeah.
To where part of the government had been working on building a self-sustaining city underground.
Nice.
And they go under there, and that's all I'll say about it because there's a lot of spoilers, so many twists and turns.
Nice, yeah. I keep seeing ads for it, and I kept being like, maybe, but then it would be like Hulu original, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like that's the only thing that's been pushing me off, honestly.
Yeah, and the show kind of follows a security guard for the president. That's also living down there.
Yeah, I can't remember that actor's name, but he's
really
fucking good.
And
he's
so is the president.
So good, and the president too.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he gets murdered, and they gotta like solve the murder and stuff like that. But it's
cool.
It was really enjoyable.
Cool. Yeah, I'll need to check that
Quick
out.
watch too.
Quick watch too.
And
Fuck
already
yeah.
renewed. It got renewed for a second season in like 3 episodes.
Like instantly,
so,
yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I'll need to check that out because I have been curious about it. But like, it's one of those things. Like I've seen a lot of ads for it, but not a lot of
Right.
people talking about it.
No, so yeah,
You know?
me neither. I had
Like-
no idea what it was.
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, no, I'll definitely check that
yeah.
out then. My plug, also a TV show. If you're looking to fill the void, there is still at least I think at least 3 or 4 episodes left of Yellow Jackets season 3. Yellow Jackets is really fucking good. Have you seen any of Yellow Jackets?
You know, it's funny. I watched season 1 and then it's not that I lost interest. I just didn't think about watching the rest of it. And I think season 1 was like on
season
some
1
weird...
was on Netflix.
No, I think
only
it was
season 1.
I think season 1 was on like MGM or some weird
Oh, really?
app.
So I watched,
or maybe at least when it was first coming out.
maybe, yeah, because so it's on Paramount Plus because it's a Showtime
Okay.
show. So if you have Paramount Plus, that's where you can watch all of it. Season 1 only is on Netflix. So I went to watch season 1. I finally was like, okay, I'll bite the bullet. Fucking 2 days later, I watched all of season 1. It was so
I enjoyed
fucking
season
good.
1, but
And then I was like, oh fuck, like what I did, I was like, oh, it's on Paramount Plus. And
Right.
like, I was like, okay, cool. So I just watched the second season there. I will say, second season, I really enjoyed it. I understand why people were like, it's a bit of a slump.
People don't.
It's without spoiling anything. There's a like behind the scenes reason why that one kind of slumps
okay.
and stuff, but it'd be a huge spoiler to tell
Yeah.
you like, well, this is why, like kind of a thing. So
yeah.
but season 3, ooh, back to form,
Primo.
baby. Oh yeah, it's getting real fucking weird.
Hell
It's
yeah.
getting real fucking weird in the best possible way.
Yeah, I'll have to give that a rewatch.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So, so you've seen season 1.
Season 1.
So you know that, like, yeah, not a spoiler, because it's literally the first scene.
Right.
So they crash and they are stranded and they have to eat people to survive.
Yeah.
And all I'll say is, without putting too fine a point on it, they don't just. They do a lot of different things they just did not need to do to survive.
Okay.
Like they're getting into some like, oh, so this is why you guys came back and never talked about
Never
what
talked to
happened
each
out
other
there,
and-
and why you're all freaking out that you're getting blackmailed now.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some fucking wild shit we're learning
interesting.
right now. Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to rewatch season 1 because it's been so long.
I
but-
would. Yeah, I definitely would rewatch 1 and then like 2 and then 3. Yeah, we'll be done in just a few weeks and stuff. But
Yeah.
it's super fucking good. And like completely different than Severance, but like
Yeah.
but another like genuinely good like a good like mystery thriller with a splash of cannibalism in there. Like kind of a thing. Like, so if you like those kind of things, like,
Well, and unique.
fucking good.
There's not
Yeah.
many shows.
Oh, it's very unique. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very unique the way it's playing out, I
Yeah.
would say. Because it's also like a big thing is last thing I'll say, then we'll wrap up. Is there's still to this day a huge debate on if it's paranormal or not.
Oh, okay.
People don't know. Like I
like that.
I could go
Kind of like
either
Severance.
way. Yeah, I'm like I could go either way. If it is, great. If it's not, great.
Yeah.
It will work either way.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. So yeah, watch Paradise on Hulu.
Paradise on Hulu.
Watch Yellow Jackets on Paramount Plus to get all 3 seasons. And anything else you can while we wait 2 years and
2 years and-
360
yeah,
days for Severance season 3, which is gonna be the next best season of television. Like, because this one right now is at number 1
Cannot
for me in
come
recent
sooner.
history. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
See y'all later.